A couple of weeks ago, I was all set to embark on my big winter van adventure, escaping the muddy towpaths, grey days, relentless rain and biting cold. Because winter on the canals means locked closures for maintenance, leaving few places to cruise. But just as I was ready to hit the road, my plans were thrown off course. The canal froze and the clutch in my van gave out completely. Join me this week to find out if anything has changed. So I'm just at the garage now to pick up old Polly the van. She's been fixed. Luckily it wasn't a massive job. It was the clutch cable, I think because of the ice and the snow, had come off its nipple on the pedal, and they've just reattached it. So it's still over 100 quid, but at least she's fixed, so she's ready now for her European adventure. But first we need to get the van back and the boat into Park Farm Marina. As you can see, the canal is now thawed and lots of boats this morning have been coming and going. So it's now safe to move the Rum Wench and get her to Park Farm Marina. Now, although I've picked up the van, I don't want to just shoot straight off to France without testing it first. So what I'm going to do is drive it on some smaller journeys so that I'm confident in it, not happening again, and then head off. That's the plan. But first, I've still got to fix the diesel heater because the diesel heater's not working. I have ordered a new one off Amazon for about 60 quid and I'm hoping that it's just plug and play. I can pull the old one out and drop the new one in. Yeah, that's the plan anyway. This is the longest cruise I've done since I've had my full service. The Rum Wench is really ready for her cruising. The only thing stopping her is the canal closures and lock closures. But at the end of March, all those stoppages will be lifted. The boat will hopefully be blacked and we'll be ready for our big summer cruise. We're just coming to the marina entrance now, and I think it's a bit of a tight entrance. And I came here the other day and spoke to the guy that runs it. A lovely guy, very accommodating to help fit me in, and he showed me where I'm meant to be, and I've completely forgot because I came in from that way on foot and I'm going in now by boat, so it's going to be completely the opposite way around. I didn't write anything down and thought I'd remember it, but at my age, forget everything. So I've just got myself all moored up here in my little marina berth for the next few weeks, which will be wonderful. I've just got to tie on, hand my keys in, and then I can get off, get to my van, fix my diesel heater hopefully, and all will be good. But it's nice to see the Rum Wench in a bit of a marina setting. She's going to have a rest for a few weeks, bless her. Right, now it's time to tackle this diesel heater, so I need to remove all my seating and then I can have a look. And it's just there now to the left. That sound that you can hear is a working diesel heater, and it's been a right faff. I had to take all my chairs apart, unscrew everything to get to the diesel heater. And then I took it all out. It was only a few things connected because all the main stuff's in there. Took the old one out, put the new one in, and it came up with the same error code. So then I had to look into it a bit further with a bit of help from my dad. And it turns out that the earth screw that went to your chassis had all gunk on it, like this slimy stuff. So We took that off, put a new screw on, and it's perfect. So now I've got spare bits. But I am going to stay in this tonight now just to make sure everything is working before I leave. Because the weather in France is very similar to the UK, so it's going to be cold. And then once we get to about northern Spain, it may be around 12, 13 degrees. And then once we get to the south of Spain, it's about 18 degrees. And that's where I'm heading. I want some warm weather. I want to go to Portugal, Spain. But I've only got a few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. And it's going to take me about a week to get down there. So, but that's the plan. So tomorrow morning, I'm setting off, driving all the way about 300 miles to Dover, and then catching that ferry. So I'll see you at some time tomorrow if this diesel heater continues to work, because I am gonna need it. Things have been so hectic over the last couple of days. So yesterday I drove about 300 miles down to Dover here, and I'm going to be catching that morning ferry over to France. As you can see though, it's still absolutely freezing. So what I'm going to do is jump on that ferry, do quite a bit of driving and get myself parked up, and I'll catch up with you tonight somewhere in France.
This is how we end up, shades of blue and gray. I feel just like an empty bottle, my dreams are on delay. I just wanna climb on top of a hill and throw it all away, away. Take me far away before my mind spins off and I am all derailed, derailed. Just drive all the way to the rainbow's end. Just drive, and we'll never turn our backs again.
So we have made it to this quirky little park up. It's what's called a homestay, and it was only €5 a night. You put in a little honesty box, which I think's dead cute. And if you can hear that whirring noise, that's my diesel heater. It's -3 outside, and it's about, I think it's 18 degrees in here, so that's working well. So I'm really made up about that. But this little park up is perfect for my first night. Now there's no services or anything here. A lot of the places you do stay for free, there aren't any services, but there's plenty of places you can fill up with water and empty your toilets, especially in France. And then once we get to Spain, we'll just wing it when we work it out. But I am hopefully going to go on a campsite at least once a week to do all the facilities and my laundry. Yeah, but we're going to play it by ear, winging it. But this vlog is going to be mostly me trying to get to some warmer weather. And then once we're there, we can take a time and do some proper exploring. Good morning. I've actually made it to northern Spain. I didn't pick the camera up over the last few days because there was nothing really to show. I've been doing really long days driving. The weather's not been good. I've been driving through thick fog. There's been loads of rain, and I've mainly been on like a highway, just trying to get to as far south as I could to some warmer weather. But I'm here now in northern Spain. It's not warm, but I haven't got my big coat on. It's about, I think it's about 14 degrees today. So it's not so bad, much better than it was in the UK when I left there. Because if you remember, I had snow a few weeks ago, and then it's just been cold and miserable. But I'm hoping the further south I go, I'm going to find some much warmer weather. But I'm currently parked in this wonderful nature reserve. It's a free park up. There's another couple of vans here, and we're by a big lake. So whilst I'm here, I'm taking a day off driving, and we're going to go and have a little bit of an explore. You'll have to excuse me air today because it's a little bit blowy, not in a good way. Anyway, it's so good to be out in the great outdoors and having a nice long walk after all those long days driving. And this nature reserve is absolutely beautiful. We've eventually arrived at this beautiful lake. It's actually a reservoir and it is so stunning here. And we were just having a little bit of a rest. I don't know if you can see little Bonds having a little bit of a sleep there. We're just chilling out and I decided to get the drone up, but it is very windy today. And that's where my first big disaster of my holiday has happened. Because I set it up to fly and everything was good, but a big gust of wind happened, and just as it was going up, the wind pushed it into one of these trees behind me, this one. The propeller hit the tree and it just sent it spiralling and it's crashed. Luckily it was very nearby, it fell into the water just below here. I ran down to get it and the battery had been ejected from the drone itself and was in the water, so I know that will be knackered, the battery. And I thought, never mind, I've done this before, the drone itself will be alright, I'll let it dry out and whatnot. But on further inspection, I mean, it's proper, hit it there, you can see how bashed it is, but the gimbal is knackered, it's snapped and it's just knackered. And I'm so gutted because this drone was given to me by one of my viewers, Simon Clayton, and he'd upgraded all his gear, and it's one of the original first Mavic drones. I think it's about 10 years old. There's nothing fancy on it, you fly it manually. I had to do a test to fly this drone, to have a certificate and all that sort of stuff, because it's so big. It's over 250 grams, which is the most modern drones are much smaller than this. But it's been perfect for all my shots for 2-3 years now, and I absolutely loved it, but it's smashed to bits. I mean, I'll see if there's a way of fixing it. I don't think there is. I might need to ring me mum and see if she'll lend me some money, because I really want to get some drone footage of this trip. But for now we're going to do without and just capture it on my phone. Anyway, we're going to start walking back now because there's a few black clouds about. It's going to take me about an hour to get back, but I'll see you back at the van for a coffee and a catch up. Come on, bonbons. Good girl, come on. So I'm back from a walk now and Bonny's absolutely shattered. She's lying here in the bed. I'm just making myself a coffee. But it's been a lovely day and it's been a nice rest for me. But tomorrow we're definitely moving on. But let me just show you the drone. So it's definitely knackered. You can see the gimbal's just snapped completely off. So yeah, I thought I might be able to repair it. I was hoping that it just clips back in. But you can see where it's completely snapped off. The other thing is I'm actually in a place called the Basque Country, which I was reading about earlier, and it's quite fascinating because it's not actually, well, they say that it's like they're not Spanish or French. They're their own little civilization which dates back ancient times, and they've even got their own language which sounds a little bit like a wizard talking. That's what I read, but most of them do speak Spanish as well. But they're very proud of the region and proud of their individual culture. So yeah, I mean, I'm loving it. Walking around that lake today was just, oh, it was just gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. But this is what I like about traveling. I just like all these weird and wonderful places that we get to explore. So I just love the free things. They're the best. But obviously you still need a working van or boat and fuel. Yeah, so cheers everyone. Woohoo! So I'm going to have a look at my maps now and plan where I'm going to go tomorrow. good morning. The plan today is to get as far south as possible. I've made it here to Zamora and it's a lovely little place. The park up is free and it's right by this gorgeous park, so that's great for Bonny. And I'm with a load of other van lifers or van people, and it's the same as boaters. Vanners look after each other, don't they, like boaters look after boaters. So yeah, it's lovely. I'm just parked over there with all the other vans. And I'm going to have an explore of this place tomorrow, but tonight I am going to go and eat out. I haven't ate out on this whole trip. I've come all the way through France. I've just been eating what I brought with me or stopping at supermarkets and buying food. But tonight I'm ready for a little bit of a treat, so I'm going to do that. Are you happy, Bonny? Hey? This is Zamora, and what's really nice is you've got these really ancient walls and then there's normal houses behind there. It's wonderful, they've kept all this beautiful history. And another really interesting fact about Zamora is it has the most Romanesque churches in the whole of Europe. So maybe tomorrow we can have a little look and see if there's some of those. But for now, I'm going to go and get myself something to eat. Hey Bonny, hey, a little girl. Hey. So I've just got back now, and my tea tonight, which was 3 little tapas and a beer, came to €7.60. Hey, you can't moan at that, can you? Hey, good prices. Anyway, I'm going to walk little Bonny now, do some work, and I'll see you in the morning. It's a bit of a late start for me today because I pressed the wrong button on my hot water heater and tried to have a shower and it was stone cold, so then I had to wait another half an hour for that to warm up. But this is the wonderful thing about having everything I need in this van. I've got a shower, I've got an oven, I've got hot water, I've got my diesel heater, so I just love it. But today, now, I was going to move. When it's crappy weather, it's the best time to drive. However, I was talking to some motorhomers this morning when I was walking Bonny, and they said because of the strong winds, they're not risking it. So I'm going to stick to the original plan, head off and see what Zamora has to offer. And then a little bit later, if the winds do die down, I might drive another couple of hours south, but we'll see. But for now, let's get cracking. So I did say yesterday that Zamora has the most Romanesque churches in the whole of Europe. So obviously they're all going to chime at the same time. Look at it. The bells on that, woohoo, they're just amazing. Love it. Woo, and it's so windy. Welcome to Zamora, where time doesn't just tick, it chimes dramatically. These bells have been ringing since medieval times, over 1,000 years, probably waking up generations of Spaniards who just wanted that extra 5 more minutes. In the olden days, some of these bells were used to signal everything from celebrations to invasions. These days, though, they're mostly just here to remind you that last night's wine was a bad idea. Nothing says good morning like a medieval clanging hangover alarm. I don't think I've ever seen so many big bells in one place. Don't be rude! All these buildings, all these churches, they've got them. Huge, and it's very noisy. I love it. What I'm loving is the detail above some of these doorways is just stunning, and obviously that's hand carved. Lots of them have these little gargoyles on. Just proper quirky. Come across this little market, so let's have a look at what they've got. I love having a good nose round. I just love all the quirky treasure chests. I like a nice box. But the thing is, if I get something, I've got to carry it around for the next few weeks, so yeah, I'm not. But it's always nice to look in it. Love all the old stuff. And here is the majestic River Douro, flowing like a Spanish serenade through the countryside. This river doesn't just look good, it connects Spain and Portugal, and more importantly, fuels the local wine industry. The vineyards along its banks produce some of Spain's finest wines. So Zamora has been absolutely wonderful. I've enjoyed being inside you. However, there's still a few daylight hours left and it's still windy, it's spitting now, and I thought, let's use this few hours of daylight to get a bit further south. So I've had a little look on my Search for Sights app and I found somewhere 3.5 hours away. So I'm going to head there. The further south we keep going, the better the weather's going to get. I can feel it. Plus it gives me a chance to get the leisure battery charged on this, because I know I'm going to have my diesel heater on again tonight. Ugh. Too far off now, but today has been a right adventure. I went through loads of rain on the way. I could hardly see because of the rain was hitting so hard on the window screen. Then it gets to some mountains. I go up and down the mountains in thick fog. Then the sat nav takes you through a tiny little village where the streets are tighter than a nun's chuff. Oh, that was horrendous. If you'd had a motorhome, you couldn't have got through. Luckily I had my little camper van. Then over a tiny little bridge. Wow, but I'm not far off, so I'm hoping it's a nice little park up. But I'll tell you what, tonight I will be having a little bit of a rum, just a tit of rum to wet the lips. But yeah, I feel like I've earned it today. Oh, you just never know when you follow these things on Search for Sights or Park for a Night. You don't know what they're like ready till you get there. But this is all part of the adventure, but it looks lovely. We're right out in the countryside. So I think it's one of those farm stays. I've just phoned the guy because on the gate there's a number and he's coming out now. He says I can stay the night. I think it's €8 for the night, which is fabulous. It's a safe, secure place. You just don't know what you're getting when you do these sites, as I said before. But this looks lovely. This'll do for, I might stay 2 nights. We'll see when we get here. But the weather's appalling, so it'll be a nice place to sort of rest up for a couple of days, get some work done, get this video edited maybe. Yeah, I love it. I'm loving this. I'm loving the adventure of never knowing what's going on, what's going to happen around the next corner and stuff. Just like boat life. But there's dogs running free here, so I don't know how Bonny's going to take to that. Oh, not very well.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Cheers, thank you. Oh, so that farmer then was really, really nice. So this is another one of those sort of homestay things. So I stayed in one on my way down through France, which was €5 a night. This one's €10, but it's €6 a night after. So if I wanted to stay a few nights, then it's only an extra €6. But it's beautiful, it's secure, I'm off the beaten track, it's peaceful, it's quiet. And because I've mostly been wild camping, although lots of those have been designated spaces for motorhomes and campervans, there's no threat of being moved on when you're in somewhere like this, so you can peacefully and enjoyably have a little drink because you know the police aren't going to come and move you on in the morning. So yeah, so we're going to get ourselves a rum poured very shortly. So unfortunately I don't have my nipple glass with me on this journey, but I do have a plastic beaker so it doesn't get smashed, and I've got a little bottle of Kraken. And whilst I am pouring this, just a huge thank you to my pirate crew. You treated me to my little tapas meal I had the other night. Thank you. Oh, so the end of another week, and it's been full on for me, all this driving. And I do apologise if it's been a little bit boring, but I am trying to get all the way down to some decent weather. I'm in search of sunshine, I'm in search of blue skies. But at the moment, we haven't got there. At the moment, I think it's 8 degrees here, but I did speak to my mum earlier and she said it's -2 up north. So, yeah, so it's better. I'm doing better, but I'm just not there yet. So we need to have a cheers. Here's some liquid sunshine. That'll do, won't it? And it looks so small in this big glass. Woohoo! Cheers, everyone. Oh, it's still nice though, but it doesn't taste as classy coming out of a plastic goblet than it does out of those little nipple glasses. But anyway, this little park up that I'm at is wonderful. The farmer was dead lovely. Bonny's got to know the 2 big dogs, so that's really, really good. And they're very gentle. The minute Bonny barked at them, we were on our walk before, they backed off, they left her. But they keep sniffing where she's weed and weeing on it, so... Yeah, but you've done all right, haven't you? She's loving this. She loves all adventures. And for those that don't know, Bonny is a little rescue dog. I've had her about 1.5 years, and she's just the most wonderful thing I ever did. She's just brilliant. And she's keeping me company on this trip. I don't ever feel alone because I've got little Bonny. And she makes me go outside. She makes me explore, which is wonderful. But hopefully next week we can do some proper exploring once I get to sort of slowing down a lot and I'm not having to drive so long. But I really do hope you've enjoyed this video. I lost the drone. I lost my drone, smashed to bits. But I do have what's called a Hover Air. It's a little drone. I've had it about 12 months and I hardly ever use it because the noise makes Bonny go bonkers. And that goes up about 5 or 6 feet. Not proper drone, but it's something I could use for now for some shots. So not all's bad, not all's bad. So anyway, if I'm going to leave the video here, if you have enjoyed it, please do give me a big thumbs up. Share with all your friends if you can. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers this year and I'm on 47 now, I think, nearly 47. So if we can hit 50, that will just make me year. So anyway, please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. But before I go, just a massive, massive thank you to my lovely, gorgeous patrons. Cheers, little bonbons. Thank you for being the best travel companion there is.